From the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, this is your UI7 Newsbreak, your U of I news source.
Welcome to your UI7 Newsbreak. I'm Alice Molansky.
And I'm Chris Kennedy. This morning, we take a look into major issues on the University of Illinois campus and see what the community is doing to keep itself safe. But first, let's take a quick look at the weather with our Anissa McClinton. Anissa, how's it looking?
Well, guys, unfortunately, we're looking at showers all day right now. The only positive is that it's going to be a high of 61 degrees, so at least you won't be wet and cold. But it's been pretty warm for this time of year. All of that will change, unfortunately, very soon. I'll have more later on in the show.
Thanks, Anissa. As you've probably heard by now, the University of Missouri, or Mizzou, has had the recent share of challenges surrounding racism. With safety alerts occurring at Mizzou, we decided to take a look at recent stats from Illinois and some other schools around the Big Ten. Illinois has reported 14 cases of aggravated assault, 6 robberies, and 9 rapes. Purdue clocks in with 7 rapes, 21 burglaries, and 4 vehicle thefts. Northwestern accounted for 3 rapes, 2 aggravated assaults, and 19 burglaries, while Ohio State has recorded 6 aggravated assaults, 8 robberies, and 11 cases of vehicle theft. Be aware of your surroundings at all times, and if you sense something is wrong, report it.
Following a string of active shooters on college campuses, safety continues to be a top concern at the University of Illinois. UI7 reporter Steve Bardwell tells us what police are doing to keep campus safe.
Over the last year in the Urbana-Champaign area, there has been a reported 88 gun-related incidents. In these active threat situations, university police choose to initiate rapid response deployment. Lieutenant of Emergency Planning Todd Short says he wants action before it is too late.
The idea is not to sit back and wait for the response team to gear up and make entry into the building because there's too many bad things that could happen. And so
the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign campus contains around 45,000 students and 3,000 faculty. With this amount of people in one area, University of Illinois Police Chief Jeff Christensen says there are a few signs to be aware of.
Disassociation, making threats, even veiled threats, a drastic change in behavior. It's difficult.
The university provides an active threat training course named 3 Minutes to Live, which teaches people to respond to threats. One of the first techniques taught is run, hide, fight, in which Todd Short says fighting may be the only option.
If somebody's backed you into a corner and it's not possible for you to run, it's not viable for you to hide, then you may have to fight with anything that you have available to you to survive that incident.
For more information on active threat situations and appropriate actions to take, visit police.illinois.edu.
That report was by our UI7 reporter Steve Bardwell. The next active threat class will be held November 24th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and will include classroom plus practical exercises.
That's right, Alice. And for police, the relationship with the communities they serve may be more damaged than they realize. But some feel that there really is hope. UI7's Christine Law has more.
Over the last couple of years, we have seen an increase of news reports on police brutality in the media. The aftermath of this coverage has affected the relationship between police officers and the community across the nation. Tanae Morris says police officers are no longer serving their purpose.
There's also just this fear when you see police officers, rather than feeling like, oh, they're here to help me and to protect me. I feel like there are probably few people who can actually say that they feel like police officers are genuinely out to have their best interest.
Detective Rob Murphy from the University of Illinois Police Department is very involved with his community, including teaching safety classes to people of all ages. He says he noticed a difference in his relationship with the community.
And people were always taking a picture with us. And they thought that was cool, and they thought just coming up and talking to us, and everybody, every little kid wanted to be a superhero, and cops were kind of the superheroes.
Based partly on the images in the media, 9-year-old Tristan Wynn says he would like to see one thing change.
They're just hard on you, and they'll be aggressive with you, and for they don't have to be aggressive.
And Detective Murphy is working on just that, nurturing better relationships and building trust through his involvement with the community.
That was Christine Lau reporting on a difficult topic. But with officers like Detective Murphy, we're hopeful in the change that is to come.
Despite the risk of attracting criminals when walking alone, it's very common on college campuses. The University of Illinois hopes to stop this with Safe Walks, a system that allows students to be accompanied when walking late at night. Communications specialist of the U of I Police Department, Patrick Wade, says,
And we use Safe Walks, it eliminates that opportunity. So when we can walk with a group of people, those people are far less likely to be targeted by a criminal.
Student leader Trey Jackson started working Safe Walks his freshman year and has seen change.
Since I've been here, we have increased numbers of walks, and there's been decreased levels of crime, because if you compare it to the early 2000s, crime just in general was a lot higher.
Safe Walks typically operates from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Give them a call at 217-333-1216 or download the app U of I Safe Walks. Coming up, your full weather forecast with Anissa McClinton and an update on the Paris attack that has left at least 129 people dead, including an American.
Also coming up, he's known for his drinking and drug abuse, but Charlie Sheen makes a sobering announcement on the Today Show. You don't want to miss this story.
Ballerina.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to UI7 News. France is in war mode, launching more than 100 airstrikes as it tries to close in on the mastermind of the Paris attacks.
France's president has declared war on ISIS after Friday's deadly attack. As the city heals, efforts to defeat those responsible continues. Reporter Diane Gallagher is in Paris with the latest update.
French investigators are uncovering new links between the men who carried out Friday night's deadly attack in Paris and ISIS leaders in Syria. They believe this man, Abdelhamid Ahboud, is the mastermind of the attack. He's a Belgian citizen with direct ties to ISIS chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Now, overnight, France's interior minister says that police carried out 128 new raids. 115,000 law enforcement officials have been mobilized across the country to help them. Meanwhile, throughout Europe, police are looking for this man, believed to be the 8th attacker in Friday's rampage. He's Salah Abdeslam, a 26-year-old French citizen. Now, France is bringing the fight to ISIS. The aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle has been deployed to the eastern Mediterranean to assist in the air campaign. On the diplomatic front, Secretary of State John Kerry is in Paris. Meeting with President François Hollande, he promised the U.S. would stand shoulder to shoulder with France in hunting down ISIS.
They are, in fact, psychopathic monsters. And there is nothing civilized about them. So this is not a case of one civilization pitted against another. This is a battle between civilization itself and barbarism.
Pour observer une minute de silence qui sera suivie d'un morceau de musique et la séance sera ensuite levée.
In tribute to the victims in last week's attack in France, members of the European Parliament, along with others around the world, paused for a moment of silence. 6 attackers have been identified, and arrests are being made on the manhunt as it continues for the suspects who carried out the attacks.
In addition to the war on terror, the questions of who will be president in 2016 and what are the most important issues comes to the forefront. Young voters made a real difference in past elections. So we hit the streets and asked some students at the U of I what they think the next president should focus on.
Somewhat of a feminist, so I'm all about the pro-choice, abortion, abortion rights. Homosexuality is a huge issue for with my family and stuff. So I'm more of a social issues.
Currently, just the response to like all the race talk back and forth, how candidates are looking at that. Also like healthcare and all those public policy things, looking at those.
Whether or not it's supporting debt-free colleges and public universities or better impacts on the environment, I think those are probably the most important things in politics today.
Sure. That is definitely a wide range of issues. And there's also a wide variety of candidates running in 2020. Kanye West announced his intentions to run at the Video Music Awards this year. Even President Obama joked about the campaign.
Do you really think that this country is going to elect a black guy from the south side of Chicago with a funny name to be president of the United States? That is crazy.
Child star Lindsay Lohan has also announced her plans to run for the 2020 election via Instagram, writing, "In 2020, I may run for president. Through ups and downs, yes we can, let's do this." She tagged Kanye West and President Obama in the post. A lot of people are wondering if these are real plans or just a publicity stunt, but only time will tell.
This morning brings even more unexpected celebrity news. Between his prominent film and television roles and his very public meltdowns, Charlie Sheen is one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces. He appeared on the Today Show this morning to make a major announcement about his health. Let's take a look. Jeremy Roth has the details.
I am, in fact, HIV positive.
Charlie Sheen opened up to Matt Lauer on the Today Show Tuesday, announcing he was diagnosed with HIV about 4 years ago.
It's a hard 3 letters to absorb.
The diagnosis apparently came after suffering a series of migraines and hospitalization.
I thought I had brain tumor. I thought it was over.
Sheen says he decided to make the announcement because he was being extorted to the tune of more than $1 million by people he had trusted with the secret.
They were deep in my inner circle, and I thought that they could be helpful, and instead they, as I wrote, my trust turned to their treason.
With the announcement, Sheen hopes to help destigmatize the virus.
I have a responsibility now to better myself and to help a lot of other people.
I'm Jeremy Roth reporting.
Well, it's not the best news. Charlie said it's not all bad. He is just HIV positive and doesn't have full-blown AIDS. We wish him the best.
And now let's turn the page and look at our weather. Thanksgiving is not that far away. So Anissa McClendon is joining us for your full weather forecast.
Yes, well, there have been a lot of complaints with the inconsistency in weather, and temperatures have been dropping 20 degrees from day to day, so I can't blame them. But it's been a lot warmer during this time of year, and it's starting to really get down and drop. So let's take a look. A lot of rain lately, and that's no difference from today. Last night it was rainy, and right now we can see the precipitation coming towards the Champaign-Urbana area. But what we haven't seen this season is snow, and that is on the way. It's coming from the west towards us, and it might be here within the next few days. So it's really time to get out those winter jackets. Tonight, though, we'll have a high of 55 degrees, and it's going to be raining consistently through today and tonight. We have high winds coming at the highest at 24 miles per hour, so it's going to be crucial to have a rain jacket or something that can block the wind and the cold from really getting to you. Now tomorrow, it's a little better. We have temperatures of 62 degrees, and unfortunately still very rainy, still really high winds. So the jacket and umbrella is just something that's going to have to stay for the next few days. On to our 5-day forecast. Thursday is going to be the nicest day of the week. We have the sun shining, no more rain, and a high of 50 degrees. Now, on Friday and Saturday, remember I was talking about snow earlier, it's going to come. Lows of 29 and 26 degrees, that's below freezing. So it's really crucial to have a winter jacket and to be prepared for the drop in temperature. It doesn't seem to be going up much more after that. On Sunday, it will be sunny all day, but still just a high of 39 and a low of below freezing. So no more nice November weather. The winter is here, and it's time to adjust. So that was the weather forecast. I'm Anissa McClinton. Back to you, Chris and Alice.
Thanks for that, Anissa. Next on your UI7 Newsbreak, the challenges of being an international student far away from home during the holidays.
And in part 2 of our Cooking for College series, Chef Carrie Anderson joins us live here in the studio with a special holiday treat that is cheap and easy to make. See you after the break.
sweetheart. Gonna give you a hand?
No thanks, Dad. I got it.
Okay. I'm gonna go fix the lamp in your room.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Welcome back to UI7 News. Before we head to the kitchen for our Thanksgiving treats, there's an issue we'd like to report on, and that's diversity on an international level here at the U of I.
That's right, Chris. Champaign-Urbana is a diverse community, but it's not always easy for international crowds to fit into the mainstream. Our Hajun Lee brings us a special report on some of the struggles some ethnic minorities face on college campuses and how they cope.
U of I has more international students than any other public university in the U.S., according to an annual report from the Institute of International Education. This is especially true for Asian students, as their numbers doubled in 10 years from about 5,000 to 10,000. Despite the increase, Asian students still face the challenges of being stereotyped because of their language. Jay Kim, who has lived in the U.S. most of his life, says he's used to being treated as a foreigner.
I would go in and then people would kind of stare at me a little weird until I started speaking English.
Language issues are among the major causes of discrimination against international students on this campus. This happens not only to students, but also to 1,900 international faculty members at the school. Professor Fiona No of Asian American Studies says the language does matter in teacher-student relationship.
It's like a demerit immediately. The information that they're giving you is, not authoritative information just because of, somebody having an accent or something like that.
Yet, language is not the only struggle they face. Cultural difference came harder to Do-Hyuk Kim when he taught his first class in last semester.
The teacher-student relationship that I grew up with, or mostly from Asian countries, it's really different than the teacher-student relationship in America.
Instead of top and bottom teacher-student relationship he grew up with, Kim is now trying to become friends with his students.
Kim also said that although he was nervous at first, now he is more comfortable with his students. He is teaching another biology class next semester, and he is more confident now that he knows what he's dealing with.
Thanksgiving is a holiday that brings people together, but some students, international or not, will be staying on campus this Thanksgiving break. Not to worry, there are still great things to do and some great eats around campus. Many American students go home during Thanksgiving, but international students can't go back home. That's thousands of miles away. Local Asian churches provide services for Thanksgiving for students that are staying on campus over the break.
If we were at home, then we would be celebrating it that way, so.
Wesley United Methodist Church on Green Street or St. Mary's Catholic Church on University also provide food and entertainment during the holiday. No matter how you celebrate Thanksgiving, we hope you have a wonderful holiday. And Alice, speaking of the holidays and Thanksgiving food, I'm excited about part 2 of our Cooking for College series premiere segment, which was made possible thanks to the help of University of Illinois chef Carrie Anderson.
I am excited too, and now we have Daniel Collins joining us, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about what's up next.
Yes, guys, last week Chef Carrie prepared a meal ideal for those who can't make it home for Thanksgiving, instead have to spend that time in their dorms. Last week, remember, it was the hot turkey with dressing in the crock pot, also a little dressed up cranberry sauce. This week, it's the waffle iron maple acorn squash. Here's how it turned out.
Or a sharp knife. We're going to make a few holes all around the acorn squash. This will go into the microwave for about 10 to 12 minutes. Once the acorn squash is done in the microwave, we're going to take a serrated knife and very carefully we're going to cut rings. Remove the seeds from the center. And then from here we're going to grill our acorn squash on our preheated waffle iron. Add about a teaspoon of maple syrup. That's going to help to further caramelize the squash, but it's also going to add a nice fall flavor. So as it continues to cook and caramelize, next we'll add a small, probably about a teaspoon or so of pecans to the top. And as we continue to cook the squash, the pecans will toast up a little bit. And the last thing you want to add is just a little salt to balance the sweet. And that can go right over the top. And in about 4 minutes or so, your acorn squash will be ready.
And now I have the privilege of being joined here by Chef Carrie Anderson. Chef Carrie, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And right here in front of me, you bought the finished product of the acorn squash. So if I may, I see you actually were even nice enough to prepare a nice cut bite for me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Smells great, tastes great, absolutely phenomenal. And we actually, in case you forgot either recipe or what kind of price it was, we have a graphic we're going to put up on the screen for you just shortly. And there it is, Carrie. Well, once again, absolutely affordable, less than $10. Tastes great. If you're all tight in your dorm crying because you couldn't make it home, then you can at least cheer yourself up with some delicious waffle iron maple glazed acorn squash.
Absolutely.
Once again, Chef Carrie, thanks for being a part of this. This was absolutely fantastic. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much. Coming up after the break, Stephen Bardwell will have your live sports rundown.
And the U of I Marching Illini have some festive plans for their fall break. Think Macy's Day Parade. We'll be right back.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy. My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future.
My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it. You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry. I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back to UI7 News. Sports this week has been nothing less than exciting.
Joining us for your live sports rundown, here's Steve Bardwell.
The sporting world continues to pay their dues to those who lost their lives following the attacks throughout France. The Philadelphia 76ers, Charlotte Hornets, and Chicago Blackhawks are just a few teams honoring France with the playing of the French national anthem and with moments of silence before their games. In the NBA, it was a bittersweet night for Chicago Bulls fans as star point guard Derrick Rose sprained his ankle early in the fourth quarter and has been announced day-to-day. But later in the game, with Bulls leading by 1, Pacers guard Paul George drives in and pulls up for a game winner, but is blocked by the Bulls' Jimmy Butler, and the Bulls would hold off Indiana 96-95. So as you sit around watching football this Thanksgiving weekend, let's not forget about those we are truly thankful for.
And the University of Illinois Marching Band has a lot to be thankful for this holiday season. On Thanksgiving Day, the band will perform at the Macy's Day Parade in New York City. Jimmy Jackson, a member of the band for 3 years, couldn't be more excited.
The best thing about it is just hanging out with my second family over Thanksgiving break and performing on one of the largest parades in the country and being viewed by millions of people on TV and at the parade route. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
The band performs at football games regularly and has been playing at high schools to get students interested in joining. This parade will put them on a national stage and be a major change in scenery. The Marching Illini are always on the move. Be sure to tune in to the 89th Annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on NBC at 9 a.m. Central to catch the Illini Marching Band in action.
Well, I'm really looking forward to the parade and Thanksgiving break. But a quick recap of tonight's weather. Unfortunately, the rain is going to continue nonstop. There are going to be strong winds, and tomorrow is not looking any better. The rain will not stop, but at least there'll be a high of 62 degrees. And don't forget, the snow is coming this Friday and Saturday. Bundle up, guys. Winter is here.
Thanks, Anissa. It looks like another rainy weekend in Champaign, but at least we're going out for break and hopefully a delicious Thanksgiving meal. And so, Chef Carrie, it sounds like meals don't have to be really expensive to be delicious and nutritious.
Oh, not at all. You can prepare a meal very affordably.
So what's on the table for your Thanksgiving dinner?
Traditional items, lots of baked goods as well, though.
Well, you can't just leave us with that. What kind of baked goods?
Pecan pie, chocolate cake.
Well, yeah, so we'll look forward to enjoying Thanksgiving at our homes and at yours.
And that has been all for your 30-minute news break. For UI7 News, I'm Alice Mlansky.
And I'm Chris Kennedy. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy. My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year, I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future.
My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it. You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this? All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry. I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.